Good morning, everybody. Sarasota Tim. Morning to you guys. Crush it. Hey, let's make some coffee and let's have a little morning chat. Got a lot of information ahead to give you guys this morning. A lot of stuff happened yesterday. I wasn't able to make a video, but I'll tell you everything that happened. It's all good news, folks. Getting ready to go to the gym here after this cup. This will be my second cup, and I am absolutely stoked. I just took my eye drops, and I took them last night. I take 2 drops in the morning. I take 2 drops at night, and another 2 drops at night, about at least 10 minutes after the first ones in a second bottle. Let's get into it now. Why didn't I video yesterday? Well, I was quite busy, and gave me a little something to talk about. Today we might take a ride if the weather's nice over to the Boynton Inlet or something and show you guys the water. I know a lot of you do love the Florida scenery and this Palm Beach County area and the beach and all that. So I'll try to bring happiness to everybody. That's my job. Let me have some more of this delicious coffee. I'm hooked, absolutely hooked on my daily devotional. It seems like every single day I read it is so pertaining to that day. And some people could argue, oh, well, it's generalities. Well, it sure hits home with me. It hits right between the eyes, actually. And it's given me so much confidence. I mean, I already have a good faith, and I know a lot of you out there do as well. In fact, most of you do, because I have had some of those powerful prayer warriors out there, not only just commenting in the comments, but sending me emails, long emails with everything to do with everything about, trusting in God and all that. I'm so happy that I am like-minded. I am talking to like-minded people that believe in the Lord. And even if you don't, I don't mean that to be offensive to you. I'm glad you're watching. We all, I know that if you're a kind person, deeds don't actually get you into heaven, the Bible says, but I got a hard time believing that God doesn't overlook people that are very kind. Life can be so darn good. I started out a few days ago when I came down here to Boynton Beach to procure my mail, visit Ted and Jolene, make my way to Tampa to go to the RV show, and then loop back around to Jacksonville where I live. And I am so glad I did this. Let me tell you why. Because there was more than my idea about coming down here. And this is how God works. And believe me, if this testimony can help you, then it can encourage you to have, more faith and to realize that what you think you're doing or what you want to make happen may happen kind of close, but even better will happen that you didn't even contemplate, you didn't even think of, because God has always got a way to polish that diamond even shinier than you can ever get it. So I left Jacksonville with the thought of coming down here and, like I say, getting the mail. There were subscribers that were lost in the mail that came in last with Christmas cards and birthday cards and even a couple of gifts that I didn't want to leave out. And so I also had a doctor's appointment for my eyes. So I said, well, if I come down here to Florida, to come down here to Boynton, maybe I'll take the camper and do a little test run, and hooking it up and unhooking it and then trying everything out and visiting Teddy and Jolene and, just seeing my friends that are down here, a couple of other people that I know, seeing my doctor, that was another thing, getting the mail, that was the other thing, and then working my way on over to the West Coast, to Tampa, where I've got several subscribers that are already going, and I'll probably meet others, and there's other YouTubers going. And I love RVs, and I wanted to video it, and maybe I could bring some content that would help people that can't come see RVs, hear it from my perspective, trust in my views, and they would say, "Oh, I would like to consider that one," and I'd look at them all. I had big plans for that, and I'll get to that in a minute because the RV show may or may not happen. It's on the fence right now, and I'll explain why. So when I get down here, as you guys know, I'm coming down, and the truck got wrecked. A guy pulls into me, crosses into my lane with this trailer he's got that's a 1/4 mile long, and they totally don't follow you when you turn. You have to swing wide. It's like a semi-trailer. They have to go way wide to make sharp turns. They can't just, a little bit wide or just turn without the trailer drifting over inside. That's just the physics of it. And this person neglected to do that in a very tight turn. He should have known better. And then when he hit me, he ran. He didn't stop. He actually ran. And when I confronted him at the pumps at the Buc-ee's gas station, he acted like he didn't know what happened. He acted like he didn't, "What? Me? I didn't. What are you talking about?" And then he just turned his back to me and kept pumping his gas. I said, "Dude, you tore the front end off my truck. Look." I said, "Look at your trailer." And then he admitted that, "Oh, well, I did see you at the light." So we went on our way, and here I am driving around with this wrecked truck of mine. Looked like hell. I get down here, and what happened next? I got the mail, made a mail call, went and used my 2 George's gift certificate because I don't know when I'm going to return again. Went and had a very nice lunch on Miss Lucy. I started going to Cracker Barrel and crashing it at night with the crasher, and 10 other RVs are there every night. It's totally allowable with the Cracker Barrels almost nationwide. I don't know of any that don't allow it. Walmarts are the same way, although some do not and post signs, no overnight parking, and those you don't. So there's plenty of places, Bass Pro Shop. There's all these places that allow you, I guess they expect you to, at least I do it, to get up in the morning at a reasonable hour when you wake up, not before sunrise, but in the morning, and go about your way. And then make room for somebody else at night. Or actually what I've been noticing is the same people are returning every night, because I stayed a couple of nights at this Cracker Barrel. I saw the same vehicles. In fact, I saw a few vehicles, one camper trailer disconnected without the vehicle attached to it, and a big Class A in the back of Cracker Barrel that never moved for like 2 or 3 days. And, there was no shortage of parking. The Cracker Barrel, I had breakfast there. I went there for dinner. I got there early a couple of times when I got there, to make sure I got a parking spot. There was no need. There was more than enough room for an RV and tons of parking spots in the front for patrons that want to go in there. So I guess that's why they allow it. They don't get so overrun. It's not a place that looks like it's covered up, I should say, that they're really tight on parking. Not that location anyway. So I do that, and I come down here and I find out it's warm weather. It's a whole different ball game. I'm back in subtropic, and I don't have plug-in, and I'm like, oh God, I'm going to be hot in that trailer. If you have a camper, you know what I'm talking about. It can be 50 outside and 65 in here. If it's 65 or 70 outside, very pleasant, it's hot in here. I have windows. I open them up. If there's not a breeze and you're not facing the right orientation, you don't get it. You actually need fans, just a regular fan to run off battery power or electricity if you have it, a portable power station or a plug-in. Or you need a plug-in. You need air conditioning. It's just something that you got to have in South Florida. And it's a kind of a nuisance because you can't enjoy, like in the wintertime in Jacksonville, I can't even spell air conditioning up there. That's the last thing I'm looking for. And battery will run everything else. The TVs, the 12-volt fridge. So anyway, I digress. So I'm down here, and the weather was going like this. It was actually very cool one day, and the other day it was over 81 degrees, which was like 90 inside the camper. during the day, you could never be in here, even with all the windows open. You'd have to wait till at night when the sun went down. So I'm making a short story long. And so I went over to Ted and Jolene's, and I had a 5,000 watt Predator generator some months back, September, October. Yeah, I had it in September, and I took it with me in October on my big trip to Georgia, and never used it. Never used it, but it was recalled, and they weren't, people were wanting to buy them. They liked that 5,000, but you could not buy one. They pulled them off the shelf. They were not available for a few months. There was something going on with it. And so they said, if you have one, even if you don't have a problem, if you don't feel good about it, we will take it back. And then as time went on, I learned that they're actually going to come back out with it. And then there was a date, I think it was December, just last month, that they brought them back out and repaired whatever it was. They're available nationwide. They're a couple $100 more than they were. The price is up, but they're a very nice unit. They run on gas and propane. And it has a key fob. You can start it from 100 feet away. So it has a lot of great features. It's 5,000 starting wattage, and I think it's 3,500 continuous. So I went and bought the 3,500 because I figured that would run my air conditioning. This trailer is just a very low usage. It's more efficient than the old stuff. The wiring, even a 15,000 BTU AC I have versus my 13.5 I had in the Wolf Pup seems to be more efficient. Plus it's duct and it is thermostatically controlled. The Wolf Pup had that ceiling fan with a switch that, you know, it was on. The compressor would cycle off and on if you turn the thermostat back, but the fan never shut off. And I lived in that for a year and a half listening to that because it had to run 24/7 down here in South Florida. I mean, you got to be tough to listen to that noise, but I got used to it. I'm adaptable. Let's have another sip. So, talking about the theme of the video about blessings, I took that camper with me in October. I took that generator with me. I ended up buying this camper in Georgia because I wanted to make a video of this RV dealer that has these really nice looking Flagstaff campers. I've never been taken back by an exterior look with that front windshield and everything, and the mag wheels and the dual axle and the low weight and the under 30 foot and all these other things that I could only see from the outside because they were closed, that it just made me want to, God told me, you ain't going anywhere. They're closed on Mondays. I was going to return back to Palm Beach. And I stayed, and I went and looked at them the next day, and the rest is history. I traded mine because I had it with me, and I had to wait for another one to be delivered. The one that was on the lot that I liked, this one, was sold. And it was like, I ended up staying up there another 10 days before getting back to Florida. But I was all set to return here, but God said, no, I got a plan for you. That's your new home. I come back down, and I'm all plugged in and everything, and I'm just not settled. I'm just not. Now I'm really excited about wanting to travel because I have a very nice camper that can roll down the highway with new axles, new tires, all greased up, new bearings. Everything is brand new, 2024. I traded my 4Runner and got this truck that is more than capable of pulling it. And now I have a setup that's ready to go. And what am I going to do? I'm going to sit there and just keep getting older and doing what I'm doing. God said, no, I got a plan for you. The final chapter of your life, your next chapter in your life, I should say. Hopefully I got a lot more chapters. But while you're still young and you're excited about this and that's your goal, and I want to give you what you want. God says, you ask and you shall receive. Ask me anything and I will give it to you. Or I'll say I'll give you something better. Or I'll say that's not exactly the best thing for you. But one way or another, he will answer you. And I'm just meant to travel. I'm just meant to get out and go. That's all I've done my entire life, with the exception of a few times where I stayed idle for a lot longer than I normally have. But otherwise, I've always moved around. And then there's the truck. Oh yeah, the truck. Get back to it, Baker. Stay on track. Well, I was going to get the truck fixed in Jacksonville because when I filed the police report, I called Geico. I said, I'm going to be changing to Jacksonville. Can I just, when I get home, which is going to be about a 10 or 12 days, I'm on a little sabbatical, I'm on a little vacation, I'm traveling. Oh yeah, sure. Go wherever you want. That's your option. With any insurance company, you can either go to somewhere they're affiliated with, or you can go get an estimate at your own choice and send it to them, and they'll approve it. So I get down here, and I know I'm going to be here a while for the surgery and all. So I said, I need to get the truck fixed. And they were, and God was doing this too. They were inundating me with emails about getting the claim moving because they are trying to do a good job as customer service. And I got confused. I was getting all these emails from you folks about praying for my eyes and wishing me well. And I've got all these emails from Geico. My inbox had all these badge numbers on it. I was overwhelmed with the need to respond to everybody, you, the community, and Geico, and everything else. So I started reading the emails, and I thought, you know what? I need to take care of this now. So I called them up and said, I want to do this now. Listen to this, folks. I go to a place that they say I can go anywhere I want. And I said, you know what? I was told by another Geico person, they're so nice on the phone. I was told by another Geico person that if I just go to a place that you recommend, that you're already affiliated with, that the work is guaranteed for life. The work that they approved is guaranteed for life. And I said, it looks like it's just a basic bumper replacement. It's not like I have all this damage. And I'm going to get to that. So, and I had other people telling me, no, don't go where they tell you. You go to where you want. And I was like, oh, just like with the generator. No, don't get that generator. Get this generator. Or no, get a second opinion. And all that is absolutely meaning nothing but well. That's all good advice and true. I am going to get a different generator. I don't need a second opinion because I've already had the opinion 2 and 3 times with this guy, and he's like the only game in town anyway. And it's pretty much an outpatient, simple thing. These eyes and LASIK surgery and cataracts I've had other people tell me, yeah, you don't have anything to worry about. There's not like I'm getting some serious thing that, hey, you better get a second opinion. So back to the car. So I take the truck to a place. They said, okay. And they gave me an appointment that day, the next morning. And I said, okay. It was 11:20 a.m. Now I'm like, all right. That means I got to disconnect this camper, right? And put it somewhere. And I don't know how long they're going to need the truck. But I have time because I got to be here now for the eye surgery. And I guess I'll just blow off the RV show because it's definitely something I'd like to do, but it is nowhere near as important as getting the truck fixed and my eye surgery, which is the number one thing. So I said, all right, there's 3 things I'm trying to do now. I'm down here and I need the truck fixed, the eyes, and the show. All right, take the show out. Now the truck and the eyes. Okay, well, the eyes is going to be a little while yet. It's a 3-week thing away. So get your truck fixed. And it should be done before that. So I go to the place they recommend. And it happens to be a dealership, which I like for whatever reason. And they have a collision center. It's not a body shop. Not that that's any less quality or good work. But I have rental car coverage. Enterprise was literally, this is all God's work. Enterprise was walking distance. But they came and picked me up, took me over, gave me a really nice car I'll be showing you in the next couple of days or today. A little crossover SUV, a GMC, and not a tiny little Corolla or something like that. If I wanted a big truck, like I had, which I don't, and I like fuel economy now, I'm not pulling the camper, it could be an extra charge per day, and I might exhaust my allotted amount of money that my insurance covers, which generally is about a 30-day amount of time for a rental car. So I take the standard offer. But when I went in there, I said, I'll take the standard offer. I don't need any additional insurance, and I don't need to upgrade to any additional cost of a vehicle. Excuse me. I told the guy, he was a nice guy there though, and I was the only customer. They weren't busy. And I said, but give me the one that's the standard vehicle that you drive home tonight. He goes, I got you. And so I would have took anything, of course. I got transportation. I'm not dehorsed, as we used to say. So he gave me this beautiful white GMC Arcadia, I think it is, maybe. 4-door hatchback crossover, lots of room, fold down, 3-seat, third seat thing. Tons of room. So anything I wanted out of the Crusher, I could get out. And I took a few things and I left everything else in there. The generator in the back and the e-scooters in the back seat and everything is in my truck. The guy at Enterprise tells me that that place that I left, he's never heard anything bad about them, that they're very good. So get this, you're going to love it. I get the car and I'm so excited, and I actually forgot to go back and get the stuff out of the Crusher. I just went back to where I'm going to be staying, to where the camper is. I get here and I'm like, you forgot to go to the dealership. You forgot to go back and get your stuff out of the truck. Oh, because I've been really kind of beside myself a little bit. And I was kind of excited too. It wasn't like a down thing. I was just too hopped up. So now I'm hungry. I'm thinking I need to go to lunch. I'll go back and get the stuff out of the dealership. Guess where the truck was? In the stall, everything off the front end. The guy comes out that's working on my truck. Nicest guy I've met in a while. You know, most of the time you go to these dealerships, you go back there, hey, what are you doing back here? Insurance regulations don't allow. You know, get out. You know, we can't let you see what we're doing. Or don't bother me, I'm busy. You know, it wasn't like that at all. It was, I walked in, I took a little video of the front of the truck. All the parts were right there on the ground. I'm talking within an hour. I said, wow, you guys are already in here? I said, this is crazy. I mean, there's cars everywhere around this huge collision center they have at this dealership. And I'm thinking, man, it's going to be a couple of weeks for sure. They got to be backlogged. So well, here's what I learned about Geico. Geico, if you go to where they want you to go to, or not where they want you to go, but where they are affiliated with already, where you don't have to go get estimates and all that, they're connected with them. And wherever zip code you're in, right? And I had choices, but this was one that had an opening the next day. The other ones were like a day later or something like that. And I'm like, I'll take the first appointment. What a blessing. So I get there, the manager of the place, he is like, he's going to do all this extra stuff for me on that truck. I'll get into that in a second. Oh, this is going to be longer, Baker? So I go up to the guy that's working on the truck, young guy, not real young, experienced guy, and he's telling me, you got away lucky. There is no damage to your car, to your truck. That trailer, the way it hooked that bumper, it just pulled it off. There's nothing. There's just this one little bracket that holds that plastic piece on that's scuffed, of which they'll sand and paint. Because even if they replace that part, they've told me it comes in plain. They have to paint it. So they said, you want a new plastic piece? We'll see if they'll approve it. Otherwise, this one's absolutely fine. We have to paint them both. So I thought, I don't know why I want a new one, but that's just because I'm particular. But either way, it's going to be great. I won't even know which one it is if they don't tell me. So that piece, and then there's just a whole new bumper that goes boop right on the front of the truck. There is nothing underneath, back behind the truck, where it hooked on the side. I mean, it was all on the ground, and they were showing me. And he says, we'll probably have you out here by Friday. Tomorrow. if we get the part in. So if it doesn't, and it turns out to be Monday or Tuesday, it's still within a week. I'm going to have the crusher back, and she's going to look brand new again. I'm so happy about it. And this place does excellent work. He said, we're going to take good care of it. And I might even be able to get to the RV show. So as you can see, everything's working out and why I'm here. I have a place to stay in, a body shop that I couldn't find one better. I decided to go with the Geico place. I'm getting a surgery. It's going to be local. I don't have to change my insurance and wait for that and get a new primary and a new doctor to check me out and schedule a surgery, and maybe the pressure get worse or him not even being as good of a doctor. Everything is going to come together. Your prayers, my prayers, God's will for my life is being so good. And there's some other things that are more private that are also, I wish I could share with you. I really, really do. I just can't. They're very, very private, but it's very good. It's really good that's happening right now. That some of it might be revealed in the future. I hate to tease you like that, but I'm just telling you, there's some other things on there that are going on down here that are making me very happy, very happy. And so my life is going good, folks, and I want to encourage you to keep watching, keep giving my videos a thumbs up. I would like to address very briefly, last night, I just explained everything I'm going through. That's why I didn't make a video yesterday, because I was at the body shop and dropping things off, had to disconnect the camper, I had to dump the black water, I had to do all these things, I'm running around, I had to get it leveled, I'm doing what I'm doing, I'm at where I'm at, and I had to make that appointment, so I had to get it off the truck, and I'm racing. So I was busy, too busy to make a video, but not too busy this morning to tell you what happened yesterday. So where was I going with this? Oh yeah. So last night, after I was finally able to take a breath and sit and read some of your comments and answer a few, and to try to answer all of your comments right now that I can't answer, you know, in the comments, because there's so many, and so many of you like to email me too, and I try to respond to each and every one of those. I just feel I can't leave you hanging. If I haven't responded, or I didn't respond by some way on an email, or certainly in your comments, I know I haven't on all of them, please, please, folks, know I have read. I read them all. And I also get some ones that are, you've read them. And my community is so large now and so protective, and they're so smart. They got couth, they got brains, like I've got a brain and I've got couth, and I'm respectful for other people's property and the right thing to do. People will still leave comments sometimes about, they just want to make it different than it is. They know what it is. It's about the parking when I was at Teddy and Jolene's on the street there. Well, I was testing the new generator, which was clearly on the side of the road with nobody gonna hit it. Wasn't out in the middle of the road like some people want to insinuate that it was. I was not on the sidewalk. The tires were touching of the trailer of the sidewalk, and my steps were down on it. That strip, okay, I was lucky to park there. That strip has cars parked on it and over the sidewalk that are impeding pedestrians from walking. A lot of people walk their dogs through there and stuff. Every day, city vehicles, people that are visiting friends, visiting at Teddy's, going out and getting on their boat, and they have a friend that's going to join them. Overnight, couple of days, boat trailers. It doesn't matter. There's always vehicles parked where I was. I was clearly off the road because my camper's wide. My slides were not out. I did not stay there overnight. I was visiting, and then I went and bought the new RV generator at Harbor Freight. I used Teddy's shop to change the oil. I brought it out there because I can't bring the camper inside the property because it's so hard to get it in and out. So I brought it out there to test it to see how it would run the air conditioning. I didn't sleep there. I didn't stay there. I could have, but I couldn't either. You know why I couldn't? Because my slide outs would be actually out in the road. And the trailer is very wide when it's expanded with the stairs that have to come out and the slide outs. Right down the road off that grass, there's another area near that bigger home that you could put it. And it still would, be rude. It would be, setting up being too wide. And so, no. It was just there because I'm dragging it around. I didn't have anywhere else to put it. And I'm not leaving it at Cracker Barrel or Walmart or anywhere else. It's on my back. I'm traveling. So that's where people park. I could have parked it down the other place too, but that's where I go. And I wanted to be close to the house because I wanted to get the heavy generator out there, which I used a dolly. If you saw in the video, there was a dolly in front of the crusher where I had wheeled it out there on that because it weighs 100 pounds, that thing. And I ran it to test the air conditioning, and it worked fine. It worked fine. When you ran the microwave, it didn't run too good. So I'm considering on returning it and getting the 5,000 because it weighs the same amount, fits in the back of the truck, runs on the propane. Others have said, again, getting people's opinions. Some are good. Some are like, I'm not going to do that. That maybe I can just connect it right there in the back of the truck to the 2 big propane cylinders I have. And I don't have to worry about gasoline in the back of the truck and fumes or the fact that I can have gasoline and propane and could be out somewhere longer and not run out of a fuel source to run it. So it is more money though. I mean, I paid $750 for the 3,500. It's now $1,100 plus tax for the 5,000. So I have to say, hey, is that worth that? And I've got a $500 deductible until the insurance company decide whose fault the accident was. And if I could get my $500 back, if he is found at fault, which he is, but how they read it is up to them. And I'd still got to pay it up front before I get it back. Anyway, $750 I paid for the 3,500. It's going to be $1,150 with the tax for the 5,000. 8, 9, 10, 11. $400 more. So, you can run the microwave and the AC and you're still, got all the power you want. I might even be able to run my electric fireplace, with the not with the AC. But there's a light that comes on, like a fake fireplace without the heat on. I don't know how much voltage that takes, but anyway, I might get the 5,000. So no, those were commenting about that were hushed very quickly by the community and other ridiculous comments that are made sometimes that are completely made up. They know very well they're just trying to exaggerate and change what they really see and everybody else clearly sees because of some hatefulness that they just have. And, we just put them into the prison. We just put them in there and put the padlock on and, they slither out somehow sometime to get a new email and create a new thing, or some new ones are born, some new haters are born and they come in, but it's just part of the game, I guess, with the YouTube. But I really appreciate that I don't have to really answer them. I will just simply get rid of them. Okay, I don't get into debating. Not 1 second. Not one word. You just are gone. But Others that I see go in, and you're not nasty at all. You're just making them look as silly as they sound. And when I read those, I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I don't have to do it, because I don't want to get into a tit for tat or a battle with somebody, because that's not what I want to do. I'll just get rid of you, because you're just trying to be, I don't know what you're trying to do, but you're just trying to be. That's not cool. And I completely can take differences of opinions. I completely can take honest debates, and there's been plenty that have done that and articulate themselves such. And regarding diets, batteries, generators, solar, all these things that I'm not doing right, but it's all debatable with their opinion, or how they would live or not live, or in a camper, not in a camper, what kind of truck. I've had plenty of that, plenty. But when you get those ones, I was trying to give it an analogy that I was going to ask the community. If I knocked on your door and, you had a gate that you left open, and I could come to your front door, and I just knocked on your door and you opened it. And as soon as you opened the door, I just blessed you out. I just blessed you. I just let you have it with the most vehement, vulgar, nasty, hateful words. How many times would you allow me to come to your door and do that? Over and over and over? Twice even? Or would you close the gate and block that type of harassment? Well, I rest my case. I mean, how long do you expect to stay if you do that? But that just shows the mentality. We got some weird ones out there, folks. And I mean, the extremes that they'll go is beyond. Beyond. They got more time than I got. Anyway, I digress on all that, and probably gave them too much recognition, but there's only a handful, and now I just let the community take care of them. And if they don't, or after they've actually gave them a little bit and pushed back on them and made them realize how silly they sound, then I get rid of them. And I think it removes your comment as well. Hopefully it doesn't, block you. I don't think it does. But when they go into the prison with the padlock, they can't come back. They're gone forever. Just like if I lost my eyesight, it's gone forever. And that's something you don't want to have happen. So if you halfway like the channel, or if you don't, and you have to leave something like that, I have to ask myself, and I've always asked other people, that's been the biggest confusion in my mind is, why are you watching? Why in the heck are you I see stuff all the time. As soon as I'm like, I'm out, next. But I don't bless them out before I leave, or keep trying to bless them out and keep watching everything they put up. Okay, there's a lot of people that you disagree with. There's a lot of people I disagree with. All right, what are you going to do? You can't change the world, Who are you? Are you the judge and jury? Are you going to go and fix every YouTube or every politician or every situation in city ordinances or every neighbor? Are you going to go fix everything? Is that your job? You just live and let live. Just move on. Mind your own business. You do you, and I'll do me, okay? I got that from somebody else, and I like it. Crush it.